gentlemen, for coming in for our little talk about QA leadership and management. So I'll give myself a brief introduction. I'm Jeremy Berriault. I've been in the QA discipline for, let's just say, over 25 years within different leadership and management experience. Gone through different banks, from banks to insurance to healthcare, now on to other positions and other different avenues, and great fun. So let's introduce the other two panelists. So let's start with you, Tom.
Tom Kegley, author, blogger, podcaster, TMMI assessor, member of the board of directors of TMMI North America. I'm into testing. I don't do this QA stuff because we're not assuring quality of anything. We are helping the process, and that's why I'll say radical things as an agilista. Neil.
Okay, I'm Neil Price-Jones, and unlike Jeremy, it's a little over 3.5 decades I think I've been doing this. And also, unlike Tom, I would say we're trying for quality assurance, and testing is a subset of that. And we consult to various organizations on and train them. So that's sort of our background in a nutshell. Thank you.
So as you can tell, this is probably going to be a very good, fun conversation between the three of us. And let's start things off. So with 2020 and 2021, the COVID-19 pandemic, with all our decades of experience between just the three of us, what have you two seen from a QA management leadership perspective? Like, what type of struggles have you seen within your clients or with your peers over the past 18 months? We'll start with Tom.
Fine, thank you, Jeremy. I think the largest issue is, the clinging of what I call half-assed agile, where people are attempting to do independent QA afterwards, not integrating the testing and quality function into the actual team, and QA managers trying to hold on to power rather than moving over into the world of QA architecture and testing architecture. Now, I'll agree, Neil, real quality assurance is more than testing, but most organizations are doing a lot of testing, whether it's dynamic or static, and doing very little real QA.
Neil?
Yes, and on that note, I thoroughly agree, Tom. The fact is that testing is the biggest thing we do by far. QA is definitely an afterthought and certainly gets ignored a lot of the time. It's very hard to convince clients to move on to it. The biggest thing I've noticed over the last 18 months, 18 months of the pandemic, is the massive delays. The inability to move stuff along each week as a QA manager on a project. Come back a week later, nothing has moved. Come back a week later, nothing has moved. People out for lengths of time that they didn't know about, lack of access to items that they need in order to solve issues. So it's been a huge delay, there's no doubt about it. Projects still got done, but they were a lot slower than they used to be.
It's interesting. I actually have seen exactly the opposite. And the overall level of delivery, I'm not going to say productivity, because very frankly, my guess is people are turning in a lot more hours. Working from home, there is none of this silliness about work-life balance, right? It's all work, and most people have crossed that Rubicon, and it's like, well, might as well have an office in your house. Might as well get up at 4 a.m. and work, because you don't have to commute anymore. But what I've seen is a lot more delivered. Now, we can argue about the quality sometimes, we can argue about a lot of other parts of it, but I've actually seen a lot more throughput.
Because definitely a couple of the projects I've been on, we have not seen throughput. It fell apart between the project manager and the client. And and then between the QA manager and the client as well. And third parties. I mean, we were dealing with a lot of external third parties, and the third parties. Sorry.
A lot of moving parts, it sounds
A
like.
lot of moving, yes, a very large part of moving parts, and with hardware which had to be installed, and that all got delayed because it simply wasn't being shipped. So maybe just a different project, but definitely was delayed in the market.
Was it the moving parts that did that, or were there other drivers?
It was the juggling of the moving parts, as far as I'm concerned. Yes, it was. Your piece hasn't been done. The actual testing went on. Yes, and people were fairly quick at it. Gathering up the results was a little bit laborious, but the other pieces delayed. There's no doubt about it.